Hi everyone, AJ back again, the movie Owl. Yeah, quick movie review. Film that came out a couple of weeks ago. I got to see it a couple of days ago. This film was originally meant to come out about a year and a half ago, at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, but it got held back until now. The film in question is A Quiet Place Part 2. Yeah, now the first Quiet Place was a little film, kind of came out of nowhere, very well received, starring John Krasinski of The Office, Jim Halpert, and Mrs. John Krasinski, Emily Blunt. Mary Poppins Returns, Live, Die, Repeat, whatever the proper title for that film is. Edge of Tomorrow, that's the one. Now, this review's for the second one, which it picks up directly after the first. I will warn you, I'm going into spoiler territory. I don't care. If you haven't seen it, you can click off. If you don't care, you can carry on watching. There you go. So, it picks up pretty much where the first one left off, but there is a flashback at the beginning to day one of the goings on. So John Krasinski does star in that opening scene. Nice to see him back. He's a great actor. Come a long way since The Office. Writer, director, Jack Ryan, great series. Yeah, Emily Blunt is Emily Blunt is very good actress as well. So yes, so like I said, the film picks up pretty much where the first one left off. Straight away after they kill the creature in the basement in the first one. In the flashback, you are introduced to Cillian Murphy's character, who comes along later when they decide to head off. Emily Blunt and her children decide to head off in the direction of one of the burning fires, which is obviously Cillian Murphy. Boy gets injured on the way. I'm not going to go into story details. I'll tell you the relevant parts for me. Now, I don't know. Was this film good or was this film bad? It's a well-directed film. It's a well-acted film. No issues there whatsoever. But I found myself asking a lot of questions while watching this film, and that's never a good thing. Now, I've got loads of films behind me. And you could argue that probably most of them, 50% of them, are worse than these films, right? But when a film leaves me asking question after question after question, then in my mind it's not a good film. So, questions I have. Okay, number one, there's a news report at the very beginning of the film. It's quite audibly bad. People think a bomb has gone off somewhere. I'm assuming that's a second or the first of many meteorites crashing, bringing these creatures with them. We then see the second meteorite come down and crash. Fair enough. I'll come back to that. Now, the creatures themselves. Well, the design's not great on them, is it? Let's be true. They appear when the script requires them to appear. They hear when the script requires them to hear. Yes, that's all I can... Yeah, that's not all I can say. I can say a lot. Okay, so the creatures are chasing after Emily Blunt and her children. It's running through like a warehousey type thing with loads of metal canisters and whatnot and tubes around. These tubes are being flung out of the way by the creature. Why is all that noise the creature's making not affecting the creature's ability to chase them? Makes no sense. When water falls, it throws off the creature's sounds. Nothing else. Also, the other thing, like I said, the creatures appear when the script requires them to. In this film, I get the sense that these creatures, you're never further than maybe 100-200 metres away from these creatures when the script requires you to. be that distance. You know, when a noise is made, the creatures are there. You know, when they need to be there. When a noise is made and they don't need to be there, they're not there. But they always seem to be close, which begs the question of how many of these bloody things are there. Because it's only 2 meteorites that have come down, as far as I'm aware, if that first one was a meteorite. Otherwise, we only see 1 meteorite come down. Okay? We establish that the creatures can't swim, they drown. But apparently they can operate a boat, yeah. All right, I'll leave that down to the tides. Tidal river, maybe. Anyway, so am I led to believe that these creatures are roaming the world, or is it just America? There's got to be islands out there, like the UK, maybe even something as big as Australia, where these creatures haven't appeared. So everything's normal, so to speak. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, just too many questions for me. The idea of the creatures is a good idea, but it's not played off very well. This is a film that I did have pre-ordered on Steelbook, 4K. After watching it, I cancelled that pre-order. I won't pick up the 4K. I doubt I'll pick up the Blu-ray. Just for me, it just wasn't a very good film. I'm not knocking John Krasinski. I think he's great. I want to see him in Marvel. I would have loved to have seen him if he had been cast as Captain America. He was probably a bit too young at the time, but now, you know, Jack Ryan, great series, love it, perfectly cast as that character. But this film is just, you know, yeah, I'm not going to give it a rating. I'm not going to start rating films out of 10. Just let you know where I am with what I think with it. I wasn't impressed. It does leave it open for a 3rd chapter, which could potentially continue straight from where this one ends. It ends with both the kids stepping up and becoming able to kill these creatures. And a surprised looking Emily Blunt. Like, hey, there you go, there's the future of the films. The other thing is that the deaf girl, she seemed a whole lot more vocal in this film than what she did in the first. Yeah, she comes across as quite able to communicate, lip read and speak back. So, I don't know. Anyway, what did you think of the film? Let's have a discussion. Not a nasty one. I don't like any nasty business. Everyone's got their own opinion on stuff, and that's what makes these things interesting. Me personally, like I said, didn't like it. Not going to get the film. Yeah. So I'll leave you there. This is AJ signing off. Hopefully I'll get to see you a bit later. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.